And today it's all going to be Carol from our customer care team. She is going to talk about understanding listing and pending inventory reports. So I'm going to hand it over to Carol and take it away.
Thank you, Mata. As you may have already noticed, Pipeline recently added 2 awesome reports, the listing and pending inventory reports, to help you estimate potential and future revenue. Both of these reports are available to all customers with or without the commission module. You can access these reports from your Reports tab here in the upper menu. And the listing and inventory reports are right here in the left menu. Depending on whether you have the commission module or not, you'll see them a little bit differently, but if you're a commission module customer, it'll be right underneath the commission and closings report. If you're not a commission module customer, it will be directly beneath the commission summary. So first, we're just going to take a look at the listing inventory report and kind of talk about that a little bit. As you all know, I'm sure, listing inventory is often a measurement of market conditions. So we created this report to allow you to closely monitor the health of your business and to track market changes. The listing inventory report will allow you to measure your listing side inventory for a specific period. And so I emphasize side because I know sometimes when we talk about listings, sometimes folks think that we're referring to the listing status, but no, we're referring to all listing side transactions in any status with exception to fell through and expired status categories. This report can be filtered by label. So if you want to see what your listing inventory looks like for a particular period, for a particular property type, you can do that. And then what I really, really love about this report is you can actually filter it by multiple time periods, which is really cool because then you can compare one time period against another in the same report. So I have my report already downloaded, so I'm just going to kind of show you what that looks like. It's broken down initially by all locations at the top. So if you have multiple locations, you're going to see the all locations grouping that will have the aggregated data for all your locations. And then you'll see the numbers broken down by location, which is really cool because then you can also compare how your locations are doing against each other. This report will specifically show the number of listings for each time period. It's going to show the list price volume, which is basically the total of the list price fields of all the transactions within that period. And then you're going to have the average list price, which is the list price volume divided by the number of listings in each period. I should mention that when you're looking at the week view, the week range is specifically Monday through Sunday. Because this report relies heavily on the list price, you'll want to make sure that all of your listings have a list price entered. If it does not have it entered, then your data is not going to accurately reflect all of the transactions. When there is missing data, you're going to notice that the report will actually indicate that by having an asterisk at the top of the header for the date section. And so all that means is while the number of listings will be accurate, as in this case 5 listings, the list price volume or the list price may not be accurate because it means that we were missing the list price on one or more transactions in that time period. So just keep that in mind. If you see that asterisk there, it means that one of your listings doesn't have a list price, and you might want to go add that so your report will be accurate. Okay. So that is the listing inventory report. The second report is the pending inventory report. And the pending inventory report will help your company forecast future commissions for the selected time periods. For our commission module customers, I really want to emphasize that unlike the pending commission report, which relies on you running the CDA to populate that report, this report, you do not have to have a CDA generated on that report as long as you have entered the total commission and the sales price in the transaction, this report will allow you to nicely forecast your upcoming closings. So just like the listing inventory report, you can filter this report by label. You can also filter the report by side. And then again, you can compare multiple time periods against each other. So here's what that report looks like. Again, just like the listing inventory, the week range is going to be Monday through Sunday. This report will show the number of pending transactions, the sales price volume, which is the total of the sales price for all of the transactions in that period. And then you have the pending commission, which again is the total commission entered for the transactions, adding up all of the total commission fields for the transactions in that period. So just like the listing inventory report, you're going to want to make sure that you enter both the sales price and the total commission for all of your pending transactions to populate this report. Both the listing and pending inventory reports were designed as downloads. And we did that mostly because we took feedback from lots of offices on their needs, and in order to accommodate all of the filter options and date options, et cetera, that offices were wanting to see, we felt that it would be best, at least for this phase of this feature, to make it a downloadable report. This way you at least have all the data you need. And we were finding that oftentimes these reports were valuable for things like weekly staff meetings. And so these were reports that you could download and bring to your meeting. And so that's why we made it a download at this time. So that pretty much covers everything for both of those two new reports.